Nissan is ending the development of sedans in Japan, and that means the Skyline has met its end. What is happening in the world, guys? This is another really sad revelation. Last year, Lexus canceled the GS. There are just so many other. Acura canceled the RLX, and I just made a video like 5 seconds ago on how Honda has now just canceled that version of the RLX, the Honda Legend, in Japan as well. Well, Nissan's getting in on the death party right now. Nissan to end development of sedans in Japan, and that includes the Skyline, which has been around since 1957. Now, we really don't get the Skyline here in the United States, except here recently, the last few generations as the Infinity products. So if you guys want to get in on the sedan party and the Skyline party, go out and get a Q50 or a Q60. Those are essentially the exact same thing as a Nissan Skyline with an Infinity badge on it. But this is really, really sad. So let's dive into this article from Nikkei Asia. Nissan Motor will end development of new versions of all its sedans in Japan as sport utility vehicles make inroads into its home market. So that doesn't mean the Maxima, the Altima, the Sentra, the Versa. I don't think those are going to be ending here in America anytime soon, because it seems like there's still some good profitability there on those models. But rest in peace, Skyline. This comes as a gut punch, and we'll walk down memory lane. We'll go to Wikipedia and we'll go through all the generations, kind of just strolling down the graveyard essentially together. Major suppliers have been informed of these plans on Friday. All 4 sedan models sold in Japan will be affected by the development, including the long-running Skyline. And this is all to channel more investment into SUVs and electric vehicles, and elsewhere, development of sedans for overseas markets will continue, like I mentioned, with the Altima, etc. Now they're saying Nissan has yet to decide to stop making the Skyline, which debuted in 1957. That just means, well, it's only a matter of time because they're not developing any future Skylines. So this one it already is end of line. So it's probably just going to be another couple of years before the Skyline is officially stopped in production as well. And it says that they could be replacing the Skyline and the Aria with the Aria in the same plant in the Tochigi factory north of Tokyo. 5,800 units of the 4 sedan models in 2020, accounting for just 1% of its new vehicle sales. I mean, you can't argue with the metrics, but in terms of lineage and heritage, it's just so hard to see. When you look outside of Japan, their sedan sales are doing much better, almost 1 million sold in major markets in 2020, which was down sharply from the 1.7 million sold in 2016. But you also have to remember that their sales are down massively, especially what happened in 2020, 2021. Like, Nissan sales are not good in general, and their sedan sales are just kind of following that trend. Now, here is an additional gut punch. You guys may have read onto this, but Nissan will consider using the Skyline name for SUVs and electrics. So I'm just going to let that sink in for a bit. Let that settle in your gut. Make your heart a little bit angry as well. The Mustang was changed into a crossover. The Eclipse was changed into a crossover. Toyota is playing with the idea of changing the Crown into a crossover. And now we have the Skyline being more than likely bastardized as a crossover or electric vehicle. Yeah. I'm not going to go down that road of disappointment and anger. I'll let you guys do that with your own mental solitude. This is all part of the Nissan Next announcement back in May of 2020, when they said they would reduce their model lineup by roughly a fifth by the fiscal year ending in March 2024. Who would have thought that the Skyline would have been on that list? And we're going to head on over to Wikipedia and just slowly scroll down. There's been so many generations since 1957. The most iconic ones, of course, being like the 10th generation, the R34, but the R32 is one of my favorites as well. So I'm just going to let this scroll, maybe play some sad music, It's a shame. You know what's happening in the car industry is I mean, all things change over time. We can't hold on to the past forever. Can't hold on to our memories and our sentimentality forever, but you're giving up the Skyline for an electric crossover. That what's happening? What's going on here? It's never going to be the same ever again. I mean, look, that's exactly what happened to Mustang. It's exactly what, you give up the Mustang name and you slap it on an electric crossover. Well, Nissan's like, hey, that sounds like a good idea. You know, we have the Skyline nameplate that's really big worldwide, just as iconic as the Mustang in a lot of ways. Let's do that. That sounds like a really good idea. And, you know, it is what it is. I can just keep rambling about it. No, we don't really get the Skyline here, at least for the entirety of its life cycles. I just heard a rumor, actually, when I was at the barber shop. Where was I? I was on the airplane. I was in the airplane heading to the Acura TLX Type S event, and one of the guys is like, well, you know, one of the importers down where you live in Naples, there's going to be truckloads of Skyline R34s imported, so keep your eye out for them. I'm like, you don't have to tell me twice, I'll keep my eye out for them. So, okay, literally after I finished filming the video and I was doing some editing, I came across the business that imports these Skylines here into Naples and sells them, and they just don't do Skylines. It's a bunch of things, but wow, I actually just reached out to them. I sent them an email introducing myself. I'd love to meet up with them, and maybe I can give you guys some walkarounds on these incredibly just perfect models. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm just so excited right now that I found this. This is in my, like, 15 minutes away from where I live, guys. And let's just click inventory here. This is unreal. I told you, I heard on the airplane that there's Skylines coming into Naples, and just look at this. Gosh, I mean, an old NSX as well, and it's right-hand drive. These things have been brought in. Look at this, guys. They're not V-Spec 1 in 2002, V-Spec 2. What are they going to sell? They don't even have a price for this. Call for price. Carbon fiber hood that's painted. Can I full screen this? There we go. Guys, this is in my back door here. These perfect examples of the Skyline. I mean, this is what, if you're my age, you grew up idolizing this car. You worship the inline six in it, and you worship the looks, the aesthetics of it, the spirit and essence of this vehicle. It is 160,000, but keep in mind it's kilometers, so yeah, not nearly as many miles as you would think. There's an inline six or twin turbo, of course, RB26. I mean, this is all there. Let's just go back to inventory because there are so many models. And look, you can look at all vehicles. R32s here. I mentioned R32. I like the R32 quite a bit. They only have a couple of them, and then it goes to the Supra. And look, it's right-hand drive. All these models are right-hand drive. It's just unbelievable. Like, is this real? Is this real? The fact that we're looking at all these models and it's in my backyard, I don't know what else to say. I hope I can give you guys some sort of hands-on impressions. Like I said, I just reached out and emailed these guys. I'm like, what are the chances that I have a YouTube channel based on JDM cars and Japanese cars largely, a little bit of Koreans, but really it's the core of this is Japanese cars. And in my backyard, they're importing Skylines. Like, it's literally their job. It's literally their job to import Skylines. Just unreal. And then they have, like Sprinto Torinos, like vehicles that we really don't ever see here in the States. Like this thing, this four-door Skyline, you don't see. Like, what is this unreal? Like, I'm just gonna be quiet. I probably sound like a bumbling buffoon right now. Look at this 87 Skyline, just looking perfect. And I do appreciate the price tags on them, but we keep this up, guys. We keep the channel going where it's going. You guys will help me attain one of these for the channel. Maybe not this guy. This is probably like, I don't know, 100 plus, 150, 200,000. I have really no idea what this would cost. 200K, maybe something like that. What would you guys think? What would you put a price on this vehicle? The V-Spec 2 Nürburgring, like 200K? I have no idea. It could be more. Okay, that's aftermarket, but I mean, what do you expect? Carbon fiber right here. So yeah, this is literally my backyard, guys. I'll update you once I hear back from these guys. Be a dream come true to be able to work with them. And if I don't hear back from them, I might literally show up at the front door and be like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. Love to feature your cars on my channel. Maybe help you guys sell some of these. I'm literally not going to get back into car sales. Don't worry, guys. But like, just put their products out there on YouTube. It can't hurt them. It can't hurt them. So guys, I'll end it there. I'll get you back to your regular sulking sad programming. You guys are going to see a lot of, hopefully I'll be able to bring you some in-person R34 snippets. That would be amazing. Hopefully we get some GTRs in there. R34 GTRs, man, that'd be just incredible. But I'll see you guys in the comments below. What was your I'm only like halfway. I'm gonna go a little bit faster on this Wikipedia, but it's not the same. Maybe I'll go a little bit slower as we're getting to the more iconic models here. R32 here. What are your guys' feelings? I'm sure you guys are typing away in the comments below. Anger, sadness, frustration, bewilderment. Is that a word? Bewilderment? Bewildered? I just don't have the right words right now. It's just tough to digest. Yeah, Skyline, rest in peace. So go if you're here in America, maybe look into importing one, or maybe look into getting a nice Infiniti coupe or sedan, the G series or the Q series. I think those were all the Skyline sedans. Maybe look into finding one of those, either new or used, and enjoy it, because the Skyline is gone. Yeah, let's just finish up with the Wikipedia page. It's just so hard, man. So hard. I'll just be quiet and let you guys look at the slow scroll of death. You know, we see a ton of these, the G35s that came into America, then the G37s after that. We got a lot of those. That 10th or that 11th generation, the 12th generation, of course, we saw them as the G series, and I think they were renamed the Q series for a while here in the United States as well. And then the most recent generation here, as we get down, gosh, there's a lot in the in that generation, but the most recent generation, the 13th generation, we got the Red Sport twin turbo V6. The same twin turbo V6 is going to be seen in the Nissan Z, 400Z, whatever they're going to call it. So that's a little bit of the Skyline. Again, if you guys want to have a little bit of Skyline in your life as well, you can get the essentially most recent heart and soul of it put into the 400Z when that comes out here stateside. At least you can get the engine of the most recent Skyline in the Z with a twin turbo V6. So that is an option for you guys as well. But guys, there. See you at the gravestone.